here. So what's going to happen after this is done? Do we, take it apart when the tournament's over? What's going to happen with this?
It'll be destroyed at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, no, that's unfortunate. All right, well, looks like dragons are getting destroyed all over this tournament, and we'll go see what else is going on. Yeah!
Hello, I'm Randy Bueller here with Brian Kibler, and we are ready for the World's Championship match.
And there's a fly in my face.
15-year-old Julian Newton against 19-year-old Ao Paquette. The Dutch kid against the Canadian other kid.
Both rookies.
Both rookies. The winner is the Rookie of the Year in addition to being the world champion. So the winner gets $35,000. The loser has to settle for $23,000. And oh, by the way, the winner gets a free trip to a Pro Tour next year for being Rookie of the Year. And oh, by the way, both players will actually find themselves getting end of the year payouts. The Player of the Year standings, the top 50 get money. Both of these guys will be in the top 50 with this finish, I believe. And they're looking at another $5 or $10, maybe $15,000 for the winner out of that. So the biggest payout for trading game history, pretty much. And we'll be right back. We'll start bringing you game coverage live. Stay tuned. To the 2004 Magic the Gathering World Championship match. On the left of your screen is Ao Paquette, 19 years old from Canada, running an Affinity deck, the defining deck of this standard format. On the right of your screen is Julian Newton, 15 years old from the Netherlands, and he's got a green-white Astral Slide deck that everyone around this match seems to think is favored to win him the world title. Nobody has ever won a Pro Tour at 15 years old, much less the World Championships, but this kid just might do it. What do you think we're going to see in the next hour, Brian?
Hopefully it's only an hour after our marathon team finals, but I think the pundits are generally correct. I think Newton is definitely heavily favored in this matchup. His deck is very solid against Affinity decks in general, and Paquette's deck is actually significantly less tuned for this matchup than most of the other Affinity decks that Newton has smashed his way through all tournaments. So,
all right, all Paquette had on turn 1 was a welding jar. Turn 2 and time for a Ravager.
Go. Cycle Dragon.
Newton cycles Eternal Dragon and goes and gets a Plains. Still exhausted from that team final. I hope this is half the match that was.
Yeah, I'm on Red Bull number 7.
5.
I got 4 Diet Coke cans and a giant cup of coffee over here.
Go.
Astral Slide, turn 3. It's funny, but during the team finals, Ao Paquette was testing this matchup against his buddies from Canada. I think Murray the Mauler was helping him out. They're trying to figure out, what can he do? Julian Newton was in a booster draft. Just drafting. Supremely confident. He's played this matchup a bunch of times, and he knows how it turns out. He knows what matters, and he's pretty sure he wins. I don't think it was overconfidence. I don't think he was slacking off. I think he understands how this works.
There's a lot to be said for just the mental aspect of the game. Just
I agree.
being able to relax and
Actually, the night before my top 8 in Chicago, the one that I won, I did not play one match of Magic.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I understood how my deck worked. I knew how these matchups played out, so I got a decent dinner and a good night's sleep. Didn't play a single match of Magic. Some people underrate the mental aspect of this game, but it's definitely important.
There's a lot to be said for just being able to keep your cool. I mean, some people have asked on the forums about the pressure of playing on stage and playing in front of all the cameras, and I mean, it can get to people.
Take two.
I mean, there's the famous bloopers of Brian Davis, for instance, who seemingly could never play right when he was playing on camera.
That's true. Meanwhile, Ao Paquette serves with that Arcbound Ravager, feeds a Chrome Mox to it, so he crunched for 2. And then a post-attack Arcbound Worker. I guess the Astral Slide screws up all the math with Ravagers.
The Astral Slide makes the Ravager much less exciting.
I ran into Ben Rubin over the lunch break. He was like, "Oh, how's the finals going?" I'm like, "Well, 15-year-old kid playing for the finals. You must know how it feels. How did it feel to be 15 years old playing for the World Finals?" And he immediately knew what I was talking about. And he was like, "Yeah, I was younger than him." He's almost 16. I was younger than him. In 1998, when Ben Rubin lost to Brian Selden in the finals. I'm like, "Yeah, but if the kid wins, he's just got you." Yeah, he's got me. We did have a 14-year-old playing on Sunday once. Murray the Mauler in the team finals in what was that, 2000, when it was Canada versus Team USA. He was only 14 when he was on that Canadian national team. So Julian, not the youngest player to play on Sunday, not the youngest player to play the finals at Worlds, because Ben Rubin was a couple months younger. But he could be the youngest to win on Sunday.
Who's the oldest player to play on Sunday?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. Rob Dougherty, maybe?
Really? How old is Rob?
Any effects?
Mid-30s?
No?
Might be late 30s.
Looks like this.
I mean, we've certainly had 40-year-olds playing Magic on the Pro Tour, but I don't know that we've had any of them in the top 8.
Is Doherty older than Mikey P?
Oh. I think so. Hammer wasn't exactly young for that matter. He was in his 30s.
That was
right?
a long time ago. No, he was. I'm pretty sure he was in his 20s then.
Maybe. I didn't meet him until a couple years later.
Oh.
So Paquette puts a Ravager and an Arcbound Worker in the red zone. Julian goes to get a land. Suspect he's going to be cycling a card here.
Yep. And there goes Ravager.
Tranquil Thicket takes out the Ravager, draws him a card.
I draw a card.
Yeah, Paquette's deck just really is not set up well for this matchup.
Yeah. 16.
Hammer was late 20s, according to Scott Larrabee. Got him on the iChat here. Matchup seems to be going just the way Julian Naughton wants it to go so far, right?
Absolutely.
Sure.
He got his Astral Slide. This was not a god draw from the Affinity player.
Okay. Cards?
Ravager comes
2.
back in. It only gets 1 counter.
Yeah.
And there is a second worker
Okay. Go.
and a Disciple of the Vault. That's some action. Oh, no hand now for Ao Paquette.
What do you got?
Got them all on the table.
2 Ravagers and a Disciple. What do you got, he says. Oh, Naughton flashed him a Wrath of God.
Don't move.
Cycles a dragon, doesn't bother to phase anything out. The confidence of this kid. What do you got?
Yeah.
He just flashes nonchalant.
I got it.
I got you. Wrath right there. Yep.
Boom.
Bye-bye. So, Paquette does get to deal some damage via
With
Disciple of
life
the Vault.
20, 16.
Asks for the life
Paquette just wants
totals.
to sack his jars. Deal 2. while the Disciple's still in play.
Doesn't need him against some future vengeance.
I mean, he's not going to win if Vengeance gets cast. There's no way he wins the game if Vengeance gets cast.
Fair.
And that would deal 6 damage if he sacks both jars.
Yeah.
That would put Nugent within double shrapnel blast range. So I think within double shrapnel blast range. So I think he definitely wants to sack both.
Yeah,
those
10
jars
seems
here.
like a good number. With shrapnel blast, he's got 3 shrapnel blasts or 4?
He has 4, I believe.
He does have the full 4?
Yeah, so I think his best.
That sounds right to me. Get him to 10. I think that's right.
Sacking his land.
Yeah.
Sacking his land.
So I take 6.
6 total.
Why'd he sack the land?
Seems like that can't
Go
be
to
right.
10.
His lands seem much better than jars. I don't know.
Go.
His plans means,
Yep.
I mean, if you're on the double shrapnel blast plan, you can actually win after a vengeance, I think.
True.
Frogmite came off the top of the deck. Paquette's just playing off the top. He's got 0 cards in his hand. I think he was right to go for it there, don't you? Like
Oh,
to
certainly,
play out
yeah.
his
I
entire
mean, he-
hand
he-
and just
he
hope
can't-
there's
he
no
can't-
Wrath of God?
Yeah, he can't possibly try to just play any sort of waiting game. against
Yeah, that
Astral
Astral Slide, exactly. I think A.O. Paquette was completely correct. In that situation, you just dump your hand and see if the guy's got a Wrath or not.
No, Renewed Faith, that's out of double shrapnel blast range.
Yeah, Naughton getting up to 12 is big.
Go. Nice. Drop.
Go ahead.
He's still at 20? Yep. Go.
Ooh, there's
Eternal
a dragon.
Go.
Paquette's just got a Frogmite. Naughton's got his Astral Slide. He's got 12 life. Should be plenty of defense against Shrapnel Blast.
Frogmite, no creature type.
Should be a frog. I think we messed that one up. I think it should be a frog. If Goblin Replica can be a goblin, it should be a frog.
So. But then it will be better against Harsh Mercy. It would not be balanced.
Ah. Oh, there's Viridian Shaman. Cool. Doesn't even bother with Frogmite. Just hit straight for the land. Aren't you supposed to point it at Welding Jar and take your opponent's decisions away? Because you think Paquette might mess up.
How many cards?
2.
Alcatraz Psycho Ward hanging out on the catwalk. Seen a lot of that shirt going around. It's kind of a cute shirt.
Lost you.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Shrapnel Blast. That'll drop Naughton to 7.
Go.
And it's on its way to the graveyard anyway, so might as well. Yeah, I guess Naughton was right to point it all in. Seed of the Synod from Paquette. This board is Frogmite, Jar Jar, Glimmer Void, Great Furnace, Seed of the Synod. Facing off against him is Astral Slide, Eternal Dragon, Viridian Shaman, Forest, 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 Plains, 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 Forest.
Yep.
Now
Damage.
blocks the
Damage on the
Frogmite with the Shaman. Paquette's just like, don't have a cycling card. Come on, you've had everything. I've got nothing. You could at least not have a
I draw a
cycling card and let me actually
Yeah,
kill a
that's fine.
Shaman. Or not. Wow. We've been talking about the Rookie of the Year title and A.O. Paquette trying to win Rookie of the Year in his second Pro Tour. Julian Naughton's actually in his very first Pro Tour.
Yeah.
We haven't had somebody
cards
win
now?
their very first Pro Tour in quite some time, right? I think Fareed was the last one to do it. Fareed Merengue turned the trick in, what was that, 2002? It was Pro Tour San Diego.
Yeah.
I think it was 02. Might have been 01. Several years ago. January 2002.
All right.
It's been quite a while since someone's turned that trick. Obviously happened a lot in the early days of the Pro Tour, right? Mike Lecanto won his first Pro Tour because nobody had a Pro Tour before. Boule Rade did it in PT3. Brian Selden did it at Worlds 98. So this would not be the first time Worlds is won by someone playing their very first Pro Tour. I turned the trick at Chicago. Dirk Babarowski turned the trick at Chicago a year later. But since
Maybe I should just target welding jar next time.
since '98, I think it's only happened once.
So you done this, I think. Upkeep.
Let it die.
Yeah, it's funny. I'll hit the jar next time. That way you don't have to think.
Seems like letting that die. Just if he has blast
What am I at?
and has blast on
15.
top of his deck, he can theoretically still win if he has a land.
Dude.
Take
10.
5. Go.
Ten to 7.
I think he has to just. If he has blast here, I think he has to just go for it and hope to draw another blast.
Sounds right.
Blast him with Frogmite. Looks like it is.
Blasty.
Yep. Shrapnel Blast.
2.
Paquette 10. Naughton at 2. Shrapnel Blast off the top. Blast off the top or no?
Go.
Ornithopter off the top. Not nearly as
Second
exciting.
man phase.
It does chump Eternal Dragon, potentially. Alright. Naughton cycles. Cycles a dragon to get a plains and take the shaman out. And when the shaman comes back, what should he point it at?
The seat. And then, I mean, he's going to actually... This game builds. I mean, he can then cycle on... Return Dragon and cycle again on his turn.
Okay.
And if Paquette jars his seat, then I mean, he can just hit the seat again. It'll leave Paquette with 1 mana source and not enough time to possibly... Ornithopter. What are the life totals?
I'm at 10.
Paquette's like, I'm at 10? Yep, he's at 10. Naughton's clearing a path. That doesn't look right.
Yeah, that doesn't seem right.
He can take Shrapnel Blast out of play by hitting a
Yeah.
land.
Dragon.
Picks up his dragon. Smashes for 7.
3.
Seems like a mistake. He gave him a draw to come up with Shrapnel Blast.
Yeah,
He cycles out his guy main phase, but now the problem is the Welding Jar.
yeah. Now he can
Welding Jar
he can
can
actually
save the
still lose
land.
to Shrapnel Blast on top
And
of
he
his
can
deck
lose
here,
to Shrapnel Blast.
the way he played it.
Yeah, if he had just ignored the Ornithopter, he could have gotten
Yeah.
all the land.
Yeah, that was a definite mistake.
He could have forced. Yeah, he could have forced Paquette to draw land followed by Shrapnel Blast instead of just Shrapnel Blast. No, just an Ornithopter. So, slight mistake from Julian Naughton, but it doesn't matter. A.O. Paquette fails to top deck his third Shrapnel Blast, and game number 1 to the Dutch player. Julian Naughton up a game in the World Championships. How do you think sideboarding affects this matchup, Brian?
It can only get better for Naughton. There really isn't anything
anything down there?
AO sideboard that's really at all relevant. I mean, he has his entire sideboard
Anything to talk about?
is just dedicated to the Affinity Mirror. It seems. I mean, he has a null, but bringing a null just against Astroslide can't be. It doesn't seem like it can possibly be correct. I mean, he can board in his serum visions for some of his less efficient cards, and just try and draw to his more powerful cards. But overall, the fact that Naughton he gets 4 oxidizes and gets to replace his slower cards, that's just huge.
So you like Naughton better after sideboarding? Even more?
Even more, yes. I don't think this one is going to be particularly close.
Wow. I'm trying to imagine a kid with $35,000 taking it back to Amsterdam.
15, 35 grand. Cool.
More than that, and the end of the year payout.
Yeah, with end of year payout.
What's he gonna have?
It's actually kind of frustrating. Whoever wins passes
you?
me.
Nice. Yeah, he's going to have 32 points. He had 4 from the team competition. That's 36.
And I believe 5 coming in, so he's 41.
5, he gets up to 41. That's
So,
probably 10 grand
yeah,
at least.
Maybe
15.
Yeah, it's like 10 to 15.
You did.
So
Pretty good.
50 grand for a weekend, pretty much. Not bad.
Why didn't people play more green-white slide if it's this good against Affinity?
Yep.
It's really not particularly good in the other control matchups.
Okay. So it loses to like Tooth and Nail, Bidding, and Blue-White Control?
Yes.
All the above?
I mean, it can't be bidding basically ever.
Okay.
Blue-White Control is a really tough matchup unless you have a very dedicated version to winning the control matchups.
Okay.
And Tooth and Nail is pretty much unwinnable.
Fair enough.
So.
Yeah, the field was only 30% Affinity. Wonder how many Affinities Naughton played against. Be interesting to know.
Sure.
I don't know if he put it on his info sheet.
I don't believe so. Aha.
He went only went 4-2 on day 1. He's up to 6-3 with this deck. Both players kept their draw,
That's
and
a nice
that's
turn 1.
Pretty good turn 1 for A.O. Paquette. He went Chrome Box, Black Artifact Land, Cranial Plating, Ornithopter, and Frogmite.
Maybe this one will be a little closer than
It's a pretty
than
fast
previously
start.
anticipated.
Naughton's first turn, Uplands.
Seems fair.
Plating onto the Ornithopter and serve.
7. I take
1, 2, 3,
7.
4, 5, 6, 7 damage.
Go.
Second.
Naughton to 13. Cycles a step.
Go.
Not a lot of action from Naughton yet. Question for Paquette is how much damage he can deal before Naughton gets his control elements up and running. Thoughtcast. Doesn't really deal damage, but they give him some more ammunition for later.
That's a lot of damage pretty quick coming in there.
Yeah, 7 more here, right?
Or more.
8 more. Oh, another cranial plating. Wow.
10 damage?
I think it's 9.
10.
You're right, 10. 10 damage.
He actually attacked turn 3
Naughton,
for 10. After that.
3. He's down to 3 as he untaps on his 3rd turn.
That's just, yep.
And
Wow.
yeah, there's nothing he's
Good
got.
draw.
Scoops him up.
Okay.
Turn 4 kill from A.O. Paquette. Gets the explosive affinity
Are they
draw.
clapping after my game 1?
Cranial plating,
Are
cranial
they clapping
plating.
after game 1? No, right?
There you go. This is Julian Naughton. He didn't clap when I
Get
won.
a good draw. Yeah, that's nice.
You win too slowly, Julian. The audience was bored. It's much more exciting when you win on turn 4. If you pull off the tree, if he pulls off a turn 4
That's a
kill, I
pretty good
guarantee
draw,
the
right?
audience will applaud.
Yeah, I think so.
That's
He
good.
killed me on like
I don't think it's
13.
bad.
Turn 4.
Power and miss shuffle.
It's funny. Paquette didn't play a land on that third turn. If he had a land equipped with the cranial plating, he could have actually had a
20
turn
damage
3
and I
kill.
played 2 lands.
That's tough to do with that deck.
That's
But he would have done it.
really not easy.
So a game apiece. So we were criticizing Paquette earlier for the decision to run those 4 Chrome boxes, but he may need them in this matchup. He's got to explode really aggressively if he's going to beat that slide deck.
True. You can't really go with the attrition plan against a deck with that much card advantage. Well, hello there.
Hey. So what were we saying about Chrome box?
This is the sort of matchup that the Affinity player without Skull Clamp anymore can't hope to win an attrition. They really just have to overrun the green-white deck. I mean, with Eternal Witness and Viridian Shaman and Astral Slide, all these cards that can produce card advantage. I mean, he really just has to overrun them as quickly as possible.
Well, so we've got our man on the floor. Sideline reporter Justin Gary is down there with the players. What's going on down there, Justin? Okay. Huh. Yeah.
Well, it seems like he absolutely has to draw Oxidize or he's going to lose immediately. So I mean that gives him the best chance of being able to stabilize his board. I mean, he was facing,
All right.
If he got hit that turn, even if he rampant growth,
We apologize
he would die to a Thrapnel Blast. So I think he had to try and get on.
Yeah, we apologize for those of you who may not have been able to hear Justin, who was pointing out that Julian chose to cycle the 1-mana land instead of playing Rampant Growth on turn 2. I think you're right. I think that gives him the chance to draw an Oxidize, which would actually have unpowered that ridiculous draw from AO Cat. So, speaking of Oxidize, turn 1, Julian Mountain dispatches AO's land. And turn 2, Rampant Growth. So Paquette left with an Arcbound Worker against 3 lands. Much better start for the control player.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if he has Witness and such going on.
Go.
AO draws. Swings for
19.
1.
Yeah.
Another work off the Chrome box.
No land. Imprinted a Thought Cast on the Chrome Mox. Oh!
And that
Shaman's
is
the
a
Mox.
gigantic beating.
Wow. Best 3 out of 5 match, so Paquette doesn't lose just for losing this game. He'll still have a chance. But this game sure doesn't look good. No land on turn 3. Just got a pair of Arcbound Workers. Julian Nelton should have all the time he needs to set up his machinery. Cycles a Renewed Faith, gains 2 life.
Go.
Nelton up to 21.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Paquette's got nothing. Oxidize, Inverting, and Shaman. Got the job done this game. Affinity player cannot be happy to be attacked by Viridian Shaman. Double block with Worker here, right? Pile up on the Ornithopter and get the Shaman out of play before Astral Slide shows up? No?
I don't know what that. I mean, if he has any sort of affinity cards, he has to keep his artifacts in play. I mean, if
Yeah,
he
I
has
guess.
Frogmite or
Thoughtcast.
Thoughtcasting, and he really can't afford to just go in on a 2-power Ornithopter.
I'll buy that. I just think that Shaman is dangerous when it's in play. The Astral Slide comes down. There is always Witness, but still.
Speaking of,
Oxidize.
Turn a
Go.
Witness for Oxidize, and he just says go. Saving that for the next land. Ornithopter, Arcbound Worker, and not a single mana generating card for AO Paquette. Meridian Shaman, Eternal Witness, and 6 lands for Julian Naughton.
along with Oxidize back in the grip.
Yeah, and we know he has at least one Oxidize in his hand.
This is the sort of game that gets conceded in playtesting.
Sure. I don't think he conceded on camera, though.
Probably not.
Not yet, anyway. 1 game apiece so far. 35 grand to the winner, 23 grand to second. Plus a nice difference in the Player of the Year payout.
Sure.
Welding Jar from AO Paquette.
Frogmite? Sure. And there's a Frogmite.
Paquette serves with his Arcbound Workers. Perfectly content to trade one for an Eternal Witness, I think.
You play 2 spells?
You played 2 spells? That doesn't sound good. He's got Wing Shards, presumably?
Yep.
Paquette sacks a couple fetch lands. Ah,
Dear
Wing
me.
Shards is the 3rd spell of the turn.
He even gets the Ornithopter because he attacked with it.
I know, that's funny.
Oh my.
Didn't even have to attack with Ornithopter there. Huh.
Poor innocent Ornithopter. Sent to his
Wow.
doom.
What a savaging.
Yeah.
Counters do wind up on Frogmite, so there's a 4/4 Frogmite.
Against it oxidizing.
If only, yeah, exactly. If only Julian didn't have an Oxidize in his hand. Gets rid of it now, and smash. Shaman and Eternal Witness start to get their beat on. Paquette's down to 14 now.
Yep.
Playing quickly, I think both players realize this game is essentially over.
Yeah.
Hard to imagine how Paquette could come back.
Yeah, this is
Go.
Down to 10, and there's the Astral Slide. That's it. Paquette has seen enough, scoops them up. There's the applause that Julian Downton was hoping for. He just shrugged his shoulders like, yeah, what do you want me to do? I got it.
Yeah, they are.
Do we have any commercials?
Well, what happened after the first game? Nothing.
Yeah.
Maybe too much tension or something.
Mountain still can't believe he didn't get applause after game 1. All right, well, let's go. I think we got our mic problem solved. We're going to go back down to Justin Gehring on the floor to fill you in on what it feels down there. How's it going, Justin?
All right, can everybody actually hear me this time? All right, well, I got to say, the scene down here, there's a huge crowd, and basically,
should get crowd shots.
personally, I've just been really impressed with both of these players. I mean, you've been seeing them playing, like when we discussed before, Julian cycling to optimally get to his Oxidize. You saw where the Paquette was didn't block the Viridian Shaman, despite the fact that a lot of us, even commentators, were thinking that it might be a good idea to just block it with the double Arcbound Workers, which then Julian had the Eternal Witness and was playing around it, even knowing that he could have had Wrath of God. He was ready for Wrath of God, but willing to take the 2.
Wow,
I mean,
nice.
we're just seeing a lot of good play from such young players. It's pretty impressive to see. So that's what we're seeing down here.
Fair enough. Thanks for the update. And those players, the other nice thing about young players, they play quickly.
Yeah.
They're already shuffled up. They're already ready for game 4.
Is this the JSS finals or?
Paquette's too old to play.
That's true.
So, Julian Naughton has a 2-1 lead. It's best 3 out of 5, so he is 1 win away from becoming the youngest world champion in the history of the game. That'll give him a little something to brag
Thinking
about
hard.
at those Dutch practice sessions when he's surrounded by Camille Cornelissen, Jerome Remy.
He'd be the second Dutch world champion.
Yeah, Tom Vandelot was the first.
Somewhat shorter than the previous.
Would it take? Yeah, somewhat shorter. He's 15. He's still growing. Who knows?
Well, Tom was actually 37 feet tall, so he's got a bit of growing.
I already did.
Okay.
Paquette decides to keep. Thought about it for quite a while. Chrome Mox, removing a Disciple and a Hover Guard. Worker, Frogmite. Pretty good start. But 0 land. So he kept a 0 land double Chrome Mox draw. Pretty interesting. What did he use up? 6 of his 7 cards?
Kill the blue one.
Oh, the blue one.
Yep.
Yep.
Julian agrees with you. Kill the blue one. AO comes over for 3. Is that enough? Well, he's got a Glimmer Void.
Saying go.
But no more sauce. I don't think that's enough pressure. He needs like a cranial plating. Oof. Oxidizes the other Chrome Mox as well.
14.
Mountain down to 14. Ornithopter.
Viridian Shaman here.
3 mana.
Yep.
Viridian Shaman. Down goes Frogmite. Explosive start from A.O. Paquette, but does not look explosive enough. Oxidized Viridian Shaman. Pretty much diffused it. A.O. Paquette's now down to an Arcbound Worker, an Ornithopter, and a Glimmer Void. Just has to say go. No play.
So is that novelty check that Julian's going to be getting actually larger than he is?
Probably.
Cycle.
Paquette's had a great tournament. He actually said on his info sheet he'd be happy just to win a game in the top 8.
Oh, it's 14?
He got swept out of the quarterfinals in Amsterdam, so he's pretty happy just to be sitting in the finals.
13.
Mountain down to 13 from the fetch land. Fetches a Rampant Growth.
A Wrath of God would actually destroy every permanent Paquette has.
True. That's a defeated sign. Doesn't even bother to cut his opponent's deck. Well, there's a real land and a cranial plating. It's the right card. If Naughton has a handful of lands, then Paquette is still in this. Naughton sends over a Shaman. Paquette, I guess I take it, 18.
Wrath. Vengeance.
Wrath. There's Wrath of God.
Well, now he still has.
Yeah, he's really lucky he drew that C to the Synod. Didn't lose the Glimmer Void. Oh, there's Ornithopter and a Cranial Plating. What is it, a 3-power Cranial Plating? Yeah, somehow Paquette is lucky to get land 2 while his opponent has 6 lands. Paquette did have the 2 Chrome Moxes, though. Those are sort of like lands.
Now that's a nice draw.
Blink Moth Nexus? That is pretty good. Paquette taps the Nexus, activates it, just for the affinity for Somber Hoverguard.
And to power up his plating.
And to power up the plating, yeah. So he breaks even on mana for the Hoverguard, but he's just up a power on the Cranial Plating. Subtle play, but a nice one.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
That'll drop Naughton to...
To 9?
Yep, 18 to 9.
Well, this one might not quite be over yet.
Naughton gets a Plains.
That Nexus could be a problem.
Paquette's feeling a little better. Actually cuts the deck this time.
This looks like Wrath of God.
Yes, Wrath of God.
Go.
Down goes the Ornithopter and the Hover Guard. Does still have the plating and the Blink Moth Nexus. Oh, wing shards. Wow. Yeah, you can applaud him. Mountain just flashes his hand. Paquette's not ready to concede, but I think he knows it's just about over. Eternal Witness and a Viridian Shaman and another Viridian Shaman.
And that's game.
A.O. Paquette has seen it up. Julian Mountain, ladies and gentlemen. Julian Mountain from the Netherlands is your new world champion. 15 years old.
2004 world champion from the Netherlands, Julian Mountain.
There's the trophy. Wow. That's Scott Larrabee, MC for the award ceremony. Julian Mountain's got his big trophy. We'll get him a big check in a minute.
Okay. We have a few awards to give out for the weekend. First award will be for the standard portion of Worlds winner. That is Sasha Zork from Croatia. Going 6-0 on Wednesday.
Ran the table on day one.
In standard.
What was he playing?
Tooth and Nail.
Tooth and Nail. Ran the table with Tooth and Nail. 5 players ran the table. Sasha Zork had the best tiebreakers. Richard Garfield hands him a trophy.
Let's hear it again for Sasha Zork from Croatia. The booster draft portion winner from the United States, Ben Rubin.
Hometown guy. Local Bay Area player, Ben Rubin. Was a 15-year-old rookie when he played in his first Worlds back in 1998. A grizzled
I think he's off playing basketball
No,
with
he's on his
staff.
way up.
Oh, no, there he is.
Fighting his
Once
way
again,
through.
Ben
There he
Rubin.
is. A grizzled 21. Still playing. Still very good. Top 5 bunny list, I believe?
He's
All time?
I believe so.
The block constructed portion winner from the United States, Eugene Harvey.
Eugene's back in Jersey already.
The one American in the top 16.
Eugene has already left. We will accept his trophy for him. In the team portion of the tournament this weekend, the runner-up team from Belgium. Team Belgium.
Great weekend for
Dilson
the
Ramos
Belgians.
de Fonseca, Vincent Lemoine, Jeffrey Ciron.
Nowhere to be found.
The Belgians are out drowning their sorrows? Probably not. They've got to be happy. Really great weekend for the Belgians. They're working their way up to the front. Abon says
You
there
guys
are
can
few
clear the
things
center
that
aisle,
more deeply
please. Thank you.
satisfy me than seeing an Affinity deck get owned like that by a good old control deck. There's the Belgians. Richard Garfield hands on their trophies.
Here he is. Once again, big applause for Team Belgium. Team finalists, Dilson Ramos de Fonseca, Vincent Lemoine, Jeffrey Ciron. The team champions from Germany, Sebastian Zink, Torben Tweefel, Roland Boda.
World Championship trophy stage.
And 2004 World Team Champions from Germany, Sebastian Zink, Torben Tweefel, Roland Boda. the individual awards. In fourth place from France, Manuel Bavand. (2004) World semifinalist from France, Manuel Bavand. (2004) semifinalist from Japan, Yo Ogura. (2004) World semifinalist from Japan, Yo Ogura. (2004) finalist from Canada, Ao Paquette. Once again, 2004 Worlds finalist, Ao Paquette. And once again, your 2004 World Champion from the Netherlands, Julian Naughton. Get 'em, can you get them both? There you go. What's that? And did I mention 2004 Rookie of the Year, Julian Naughton? And ladies and gentlemen, your 2004 Player of the Year from France, Gabriel Nassif. Here he comes. Clear the aisle, clear the center aisle. Player of the Year, Gabriel Nassif.
A world champion, $3 million given away this season. We got $3 more million to give away next season. Join Gabriel Nassif, Julian Naughton, Brian Kibler, and me, Randy Bueller. We will see you in Columbus at the end of October. We'll have another live webcast there, and we'll have another Pro Tour. Wow, great weekend. I'm glad I was here to share it with you. We will see you next time.
Till then.